5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, welcome back to the Blerdiverse. We're back with another one, day 22 of Blerdiverse 31 Days of Comic Book Review Uploads. So, heck, we're back at checking out another Amazing Spider-Man issue. We're checking out Amazing Spider-Man issue 81. This is by Kelly Thompson, Sarah Pichelli, Arthur Adams, Saladin Ahmed, and Carlos Gomez. So, picking up after the last Spider-Man, we have Ben Reilly here. He's working at Beyond. He's the current Spider-Man because Peter is in a coma, but he just recently came out of the coma in the last issue as far as Aunt May worked with Doc Ock, and they did what they needed to do as far as getting some information, getting some chemicals in people's DNA and all that to get stuff to help Peter get out of coma, and Peter's out of coma, so that's good. But picking up, we get back to Ben Reilly and everything. It's after the events of when he was fighting with Craven, and Beyond is him on his next thing to go take care of this monster that's terrorizing the city. It's called Rhizome. It's like some big amalgam of trees, whatever. It's one of those monsters, or it's not even, I can't even say a villain. It's like one of those monsters that happen in the MCU as far as just an amalgam of like one element or something like that that's rampaging the city. So it's rampaging New York, and Ben's like, alright, I'm with Bet, I'm gonna go handle it. Also, the guy Beyond says, hey, you also might run into the Brooklyn Spider-Man. Please let him know that we have sent him a cease and desist, and that if he keeps using the trademark, we will sue him and everything, and that he should go by some other names and everything and all that. And he's like, got it, I'll let him know, sarcastically, because I'm like, how are you gonna tell what's the name of Spider-Man not to be Spider-Man and everything? But I mean, it's funny because the intro of this comic book has Miles Morales Spider-Man, well, his new fit, he's punching Ben Reilly's Beyond Spider-Man in the face, and it's kind of similar to an old Ben Reilly run where he's in Vegas and trying to help cure stuff, and also get his consciousness right because he was a bad guy for some time, and that Kane punched him through a wall and everything. But funny similarities. Speaking of Spider-Man, go see the new Spider-Man. That shit is fucking flames. It's an experience. It's a once-in-a-lifetime movie. Chef's kiss. But back to the comic book. What's his name's Ben Reilly Spider-Man. He hops out. He's on the way to the place. Before then, he talks to his girlfriend Janine, and she's like, "Hey, you sure you're ready?" He's like, "Hey, I got this, and I'm happy you're worrying about me. I'll come back, say, babe, I'll be good." And after he hops out in the building, he's flying around because heck, his Beyond suit has like a web capability that allows him to fly, which is dope. After then, he heads to the site where he thinks Rhizome is, and after that, but Rhizome's already gone. And he's like, heck, well, it's not my assignment, let me keep it pushing, even though the people are like, you're gonna help out, because Miles Morales or Peter will usually like help out with stuff, but like since he's part of Beyond, he's like, I got a sign, I gotta go handle these people. But at that, he's like, yeah, like, so who are you? And it's like, and at that, Miles was like, yeah, Pops was like, yeah, that's who I want to know. And Miles is like, already like, hey man, you sound like Peter. He's like, you sound like the other Spider-Man, but you ain't really him, and all that. And it's like they start bickering and have a little argument, tussle, whatever, and all that. And because Miles is a little wary, he's like, heck man, I had enough of Spider-Man imposters, because in his own current run of Miles Morales, he dealt with the whole clone conspiracy thing and all that, which he's like, left a bad taste in his mouth, and he's like, you know what, I need to revamp myself. So that's the reason why he's not even in his usual look and everything, since something different, because he needed something to get his mind off that, try something different, get his mind off the whole clone conspiracy thing, because he had his own clone conspiracy thing, which funny enough is like an homage to the original Spider-Man having clone conspiracy thing, because Ben Reilly is a result of that. But anyways, they bicker and argue. He's like, hey man, Pete, Spider-Man's in the hospital, and he's like, oh, since you know his identity, he's like, okay, you must be a friend of him and all that. He's like, well, more like a strange brother. And they talk and say, okay, we probably have met before. And that they talk about Spider-Geddon and the Spider-Verse stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, we met before, as far as Miles Morales met Ben Reilly during the whole Spider-Verse thing that happened a while back, where all the spiders, as far as Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, Ben Reilly, Kane, Superior Spider, which is just Otto Octavius and Spider-Man's body, and a bunch of other Spider-Men from different universes had to team up together to fight Morlun and his brood from destroying different multiverse Spider-Mans and trying to feed on the Spider Totem. But that's the whole thing. Anyways, they get together, find Rhizome, fight him and everything. At first it's not working out as far as the solo things, and then they team up and have a little combos and everything, and at that Ben Reilly holds him still while Miles comes in with his spider punch as far as like the electromagnetic charge punch that he can do, and he finds like there's some machines in there. He shorts it out and finds some little guy inside of the thing. He's like, oh, it's a little tinkerer guy. I mean, heck, I don't know what he was doing, but heck, we stopped him. It's like, hey, we saved the day. And at that, Ben's like, heck, man, I'm sorry about Beyond being a hassle to you and everything. I'll try to talk to him and everything, but heck, bro, you keep being Spider-Man, man. He's like, hey, you keep being Spider-Man too. And he steps off and he heads back to Beyond. When he gets back to Beyond, he's trying to talk to his usual dude, which is Max. He sees, not Max, Lionstorm or whatever. But he sees Maxine, and she's the owner of Beyond. She's like, hey, so why did you not tell him to cease and desist and all this? Like, do you expect me to beat up your kid? He's like, Beyond has done a lot for you. We can take that all away. So get your mind right and stop playing around. And so that happens, and then the issue ends with them finding out that Otto Octavius is looking into Beyond and everything, is digging into it, because in the last issue of when Peter got in his coma and Otto had teamed up with Aunt May to help with that, he found out that Beyond is really just a shell corporation that bought up all of Parker Industries, which is basically what Doc Ock had created when he was the Superior Spider-Man and took over Spider-Man's body during the between time. And also he had started Parker Industries, and Peter had kept it going for a while until he had to shut it down because of different stuff that happened and everything. And yeah, so he's like looking at that, and Maxine's like, yeah, we're gonna handle that in all due time. And that's the end of the issue. As far as this issue, I give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Solid read. Good to see two Spider-Man get together. As far as Miles and Ben Reilly, it's not the last time we're going to see them team up, because they teamed up in the last issue of Devil's Reign as far as the New York heroes fighting against Kingpin's whole no vigilante thing. So it's a good read. As far as that, like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll be back with another one. Peace.